What's good, y'all? Welcome back to this video. So in this video, I'm going to be talking a little bit about, social media tips. And in this video specifically, I'm going to be only giving y'all 3 tips. And these are going to be the most important 3 tips you're ever going to hear when it comes to selling more cars on social media. So let's kind of hop right into it. So first of all, before I kind of get into the actual tips, I just need to tell y'all a little bit about why you should actually even be using social media in the first place to sell more cars, right? So in case you're kind of wondering a little bit about why you should be using social media, pretty much everybody in the world uses social media. So the fact that you should be, or the fact that you're not using it, is kind of a big problem by itself, because everybody in the world's using it, and you should be taking advantage of that, because you got hundreds of millions of people on social media every single day, millions of people or hundreds of thousands in your city that are constantly going to be on social media. So the fact that you're not advertising yourself on here completely for free is a big problem. And like I just said, it is completely free to use, so you have to pay absolutely nothing. So the cost up front is no excuse to not be on social media at all. Also, social media does help build trust, authority, and ultimately will help you convert the sale. Now, if it came down to a dealership or salesman with no social media versus one with, the one with will always convert and actually end up closing the sale, because they know you beforehand, before even meeting you. And that alone will help build you, more trust and rapport and authority over time, because you're actually doing nothing except posting videos, and people are just going to come and watch your videos, automatically know who you are, how you can help them before they even meet you. So that's one of the reasons. Also, it's its own form of inbound marketing. Inbound marketing is probably one of the best things you can have in any type of business, because people are going to come to you regardless of what you do. So you can be asleep, you can make 1 or 2 posts once you're actually established, and people always come to you because of who you are. So that's one of the best things you can have in any business, is inbound marketing, because you don't need to do any external marketing. It will boost you more, but inbound marketing is amazing because there's no actual ads you need to run. Also, it is a free tool to help you build your network. And by network, I mean people you know, other salesmen, other dealerships that might look at you. If you're a salesman and you want to build a brand, some dealerships might actually pay you more than what they pay you now, just because of who you are. So you can network, people will see who you are, you'll build brands. If you're a dealership, you'll build a network in your city, people will know who you are. So it's very, very useful when it comes to networking. It's also an asset you want to build on the long term, right? You want to have something that in 5-10 years from now, people can look back on, people can see what you've established, how you've established it, what you've been through, because that's also what people want to know about you. They want to know what you've been through, how you are, where you are today. And that's what social media can do. Now, when it comes to the actual tips, right, what are going to be the most important things that you need to figure out right off the bat? And these two kind of correlate, kind of work together. So you kind of want to get both these down, especially when you're first starting out. But the most important things are, you need to position yourself as a problem solver, and you need to target the right audience. Now, the reason these are so important is because without one, the other won't work. So you need to have both of them down. So let me explain why, right? But before that, I need to kind of ask you, or you need to ask yourself a few questions, right? You need to think and really think this through. Who are the most profitable customers from your dealership, and why do they want to work with you specifically, right? Once you can figure out why people come to you and why they want to work with you, you'll figure out what problem you're helping them solve. So let's say this past month, you've had most of your people coming to you because they've had low credit. Well, most likely you're a low credit, solution to whatever problem they have, which is low credit. So you're going to be a low credit problem solution or problem solver, right? And who's most satisfied with your service? So when people leave, who are they? Are they women, men, older, younger? Who is more satisfied with your service? You need to figure that out. So you know what problem you're solving, and who you're solving it for. If you're solving people that struggle with their credit score and they're young, well, you're helping young teenagers or people in their 20s get their first car. So that's what you need to figure out, so you can know who you should market and advertise to and create content for. Because if you're creating content for everybody, then it's pretty much for nobody, because if you can't be a generalist. When you have a problem with your heart, you go to a heart doctor. You don't go to any doctor. You go to a heart doctor because they are specifically there for you, for your problem. So you want to position yourself as that, and the only way you can figure that out is actually by asking yourself these 2 questions. Now, let's say you position yourself as a problem solver, right? What does that mean? Well, if you're a problem solver, I'll give you an example. You help people with low credit. You're going to need to position yourself as somebody who can help them with low credit. Now, how do you do that, right? You want to provide valuable information. So you want to tell them, all right, with low credit, we understand that you have low credit. Now, obviously, you're not going to get treated as somebody who has high credit. So a 360 credit score is not going to get treated as a 720. So you need to make sure they understand that, and you need to explain to them how their payments would work, how their monthly payments, their down payments, whatever it is. You want to make sure you offer that free valuable information so that they understand how it works beforehand. You want to also give them the information and value that they want. So you can tell them, hey, we understand you have low credit. We want to try to make it as easy as possible for you. We know you get turned down, or we understand that some dealerships might turn you down. We don't want to be that dealership. We don't want to be, or I don't want to be that salesman. I want to help you out with whatever problem that you have. That's kind of the framework you want to follow. Now, this all depends on what problem you're using. So you want to just substitute whatever I just said with whatever problem you're solving. Also, one of the most important things is you want to be a likable and relatable person. You can offer the best value in the world. If you're annoying, or nobody likes you, or you have an attitude, or you look like you hate your job, or you look like you hate your life, nobody's going to want to work with you. If you don't like your job, you don't like yourself, who will, right? Let's be honest. So you need to be yourself. Just post about your life. Talk a little bit about you, so that people can actually relate to you, understand who you are, and actually build a connection with you. So you want to be relatable. You want to be likable, so that people, look forward to meeting you. You don't want people coming to you and saying, damn, this guy doesn't look like he's that cool of a guy. Well, let's be honest. They probably wouldn't even come to you if you weren't that cool of a guy. So you want to be that cool guy, or you want to be that guy that they want to work with, that will help them with whatever they got. Because you got to always remember, people always buy from people. They're not going to go buy from somebody they don't like unless they like you. So this all kind of goes back to the whole point of being or position yourself as a problem solver. Now, targeting the right audience. What does this mean? Let's say you help first-time buyers, right? You want to be targeting teenagers or people in their 20s, right? You got to understand who you're targeting. If you're targeting first-time buyers, you're not going to go target some rich six-figure, parent or some millionaire. You're not going to be targeting those people. You're not going to be calling out to those specific people, because they're not a first-time buyer. So why are you worried about them? If you're worried about people that are underage, 18, 17, 16, you're helping them get their first car, people in their 20s, you want to be targeting, you want to be reaching out to these people specifically. So let's say you help people with budget cars, right? People that are going to buy a little bit more affordable cars, under 15K. You want to make sure that you're reaching out to those people specifically, letting them know that you can help them solve the problem, because you don't have $100,000 cars. You have, $15,000 cars, $10,000 cars. You need to understand and call them out specifically for who they are. Or for example, right, you help people that want to get luxury cars. You don't want to be targeting some guy that works at McDonald's who saved up $1,000 and it has that for a down payment. You want to be targeting parents that are aged 30 through 50 with, six-figure incomes. People that want to get Mercedes, BMWs, whatever the car is. Those are people you want to be targeting. So you want to understand who you're targeting and how you can help them solve the problem. So if they're a first-time buyer, you figured out who you're targeting. Now you want to show them how you can solve their problem. So first time buyer, well, we'll help you out because we won't take advantage of you and give you a 35% interest rate for 92 months and a $1,200 monthly payment. You see, you got to position yourself as that so that they want to work with you. Now, the most important thing out of all this, if you can do everything I just said before, but you don't do these simple steps, you will never ever succeed. And the reason is because you're not leveraging your content on all platforms and you're not being consistent. If you're the most likable person, you offer all the right value and you help everybody solve the problem, but you don't post it and you're not consistent, then nobody will ever know who you are. So you want to make sure you're posting on all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all these platforms, especially YouTube. Nobody's really posting on YouTube. Stand out. You want to post there. So post on all these social medias. Hit everybody. You want to target on everybody's phone. Think about it. I know you all know a buddy or a friend who you might call. You pick up the phone, but if you message them, they don't pick up their messages. Or you might know somebody that only answers their messages, but when you call them, they never pick up. So people are on different platforms. People are on different apps. So you want to make sure that you target them from every angle so that you can always get their attention regardless of what platform they're on. Also, you want to be very consistent with it. The reason is because without consistency, you will never, ever, ever scale or never, ever build anything. Imagine you're trying to lose 60 pounds, right? Do you think if you're not consistent with your diet or you're not working out constantly, you're going to lose that weight? I highly doubt it. So with everything in life, you have to be consistent if you want to see results. So you have to be very consistent with this. Also, volume is key. Consistency without volume is useless. You can be the most consistent person ever, but if you're posting once a week, you'll never ever, well, I wouldn't say never ever, but you most likely are not going to grow because you're not really adding volume. So you want to make sure you're adding volume and doing it multiple times. And what I mean by multiple times, I mean you're posting at least 7 times a week minimum. That's if you're starting off. So once a day, very, very doable. I don't think anybody should struggle with that. When it comes to posting a post or a reel or whatever, it should take you max 10 minutes to film one. So I don't think you need to slack off on that. I think you can do that easily in one day. Let's say it takes you an hour or 2 hours. Let's just say it takes you 2 hours a week. You can manage, or you can make free time for 2 hours a week to grow your brand. When it comes to your business, you can free that time. And nothing happens overnight. So the longer you're in the game, the more results you can get. So I don't think this is some get rich quick scheme where in a week you're gonna have a whole brand and everybody's gonna want to work with you. That's not how it works. Consistency and volume over time, you will build something. And you also want to make sure you plan out your content, right? You don't want to just hop in there blind and just start posting whatever. I'm not saying your content has to be perfectly planned, What I am saying is you want to have an understanding a little bit about what you're actually posting. So for example, if I'm going to the gym for my first time and I go in there and I don't have a workout plan, or I don't know what I'm doing, I can't just go in there blind and start lifting weights because I might get injured. So for you, I don't think you should just go out there and just start posting random things. You kind of want to plan it out a little bit so you understand what exactly needs to be done that day. If you want to put a customer win, just plan out that the next sale you'll take a picture and post that, or whatever it is you're doing. You want to make sure you plan it out. You don't need to get too into depth with this. You don't need to have a whole schedule and all that stuff. Don't overcomplicate it, but just have a little understanding of what you're going to do. Those are the 3 simple hacks that I have for you. I don't want to take too much of y'all this day. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment below. Also, if you want to book a free consultation call with me where I can see a little bit of where you are, how we might be able to help you out. Links in the description. My Instagram is also in the description. All socials are in the description. If you have any questions, let me know on there or in the comments, and I'll catch you on the next video.